Hey guys, today I want to tell you about the biggest mistake made by Mary Queen of Scots. And after that, I want to give you a suggestion for a lovely scenic drive and a visit to a really peaceful, ruined abbey and a lovely spot in Scotland so that you can enjoy one of those historic days out in Scotland. Let's go. Hiya, I'm Bruce Fummey from Scotland History Tours. If you're interested in the people, events and places in Scottish history and you want some great ideas about places to visit in Scotland, then subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the notification bell. That way you'll be notified every time I make a new YouTube video. In the meantime, let me tell you a story. Okay, it's the 15th of May. And I've been really torn about what to talk about. But from time to time, we all have difficult decisions to make in life, right? Have you ever been in that situation where you've got to make a big decision and you don't have all the information that you need and it feels like every choice is the wrong one? Every road's got a flashing danger sign, but you've got to take one of them. Beware of old people crossing. That's always the best one to go for. You buy a house, but you're not sure if your own house is going to sell. If you sign the deeds for the new house and the old one doesn't sell, you don't have the money to cover the bridging loan and you'll end up homeless and losing both of them. But it's a perfect house. And you know if you don't go for it, you'll always regret it. You're not sure about your current job. There's another possibility in the pipeline. You know somebody inside the company and they say that you'd be perfect for it, but they're not the decision maker and you just don't think the interview went too well. Jeez, if the job thing doesn't come up, your husband's being a dick, but if you leave him, God, he'd be unbearable. And the upheaval is just unthinkable, but you can't just keep going through the motions. You haven't slept with worry, your head's going to explode, but you've got to make a decision. Have you ever been in a situation like that? Nah, me neither, but I have had to choose between steak pie and chicken balmoral at every sportsman's dinner I've been to, and it's a nightmare. Because if the haggis is cooked really nice inside the chicken, but at the same time, puff pastry and gravy, lovely. Okay, so imagine this. 2 weeks ago, you managed to escape from a castle on an island on a loch where you'd been in prison for almost a year. And during that year, somebody had threatened to cut your throat, and it was no idle threat. You miscarried twins, you were forced to abdicate. Oh, did I not mention that you were the queen? Doesn't matter. You didn't really know for sure what was going on in the outside world. You're still not sure who you can trust. I mean, you've just lost a battle where your army outnumbered your half-brother's rebellious trash by 2-1. But after your vanguard made a really good first strike, suddenly the Argyll troops in the second line wouldn't follow up because their feckless leader, the Duke of Argyll, mysteriously fainted. Somebody's taken the piss. Anyway, Argyll's men flee, your forces get wiped out fighting amongst themselves, and you had to head south. You had to head south. I mean, you wanted to go north, that made sense. You were going north in the first place before the battle. You were heading for Dumbarton Castle. Dumbarton Castle was where you left for France as a 4-year-old girl. How long ago that seems now. Anyway, you can't get to Dumbarton because you'd have to go through the family lands of your second husband, who you're suspected to have murdered. Did I forget to mention that? If you'd won the battle, you could have gone through Lennox country because you would have been triumphant. But now, you can't get to Dumbarton Castle because some useless fart fainted and fecked off. I suppose what I'm saying is that 1568 was a tough year for Mary Queen of Scots. The 2 days since the battle at Langside have been awful. 92 miles on horseback. That's the length of the West Highland Way. In 2 days. On horseback. With a night's sleep in an open countryside like tramps. Tending blisters and saddle sores with nothing but sour milk for sustenance the whole journey. Your limbs are aching, your blood is racing and your heart's sinking. Crossing the River Dee near Dumfries, your supporters, the ones that are left, literally had to burn their bridges to hold back pursuing troops. Your half-brothers huntsmen, they'll set fire to Kenmure Castle in the pursuit to punish the Gordons just for supporting you, and you're supposed to be the queen. At least you had a roof over your head for one night in Cora Castle, the one owned by Lord Harris. His people in the area are still supportive. Thank God they still follow the true religion. He thinks of support in the wider community, and he can guarantee holding out for 40 days. 40 days. 40 days. What did I do? Did I stay here in Scotland and fight on? Did I take ship for France? Did I cross the Solway Firth to England? I should stay. If I run to France now, I'll be shamed. Oh, but I'd be free of this burden. In France, I've lands, titles, income for a good life. But my son is here, and I must be queen. By rights, I should be queen in England. If my cousin Elizabeth would grant me succession after her, I'd be safe in England. But my son is here. And Scotland's the land of my fathers. A land where the religion's corrupted. At least in France, they follow the true religion. In this area, they still follow the true religion. And they say that we can hold out for weeks, and then we can build support. Oh, only a week ago, how many men flocked to my banner? My advisors say I can't trust Elizabeth. And yet she is my sister queen. A sister queen that refused to grant me safe passage from France to Scotland. Oh, in Scotland. The one place where I have God-given authority, and for what? For 6 years of misery after 13 happy years in France. In France, my brother-in-law, King Charles, he would give me troops, just like his father did for my mother when I was a child. Oh, mother. You knew what it was like to struggle in widow's clothes in a world of men. Only Elizabeth can understand the trials of a woman. But my son is here. My cousins, my uncles, all the family I trust, they're in France. My mother-in-law is in England, but she thinks I've killed her son. Safer here in Scotland. I've never even met Elizabeth. And didn't the English imprison my ancestor James I for 18 years? 18 years! But Elizabeth wouldn't do that to me, would she? Would she? Would she? England. A day later, Mary Queen of Scots left Dundrennan Abbey and set sail from the little port that the monks used to trade with the continent. In a small fishing boat with a few of her loyal followers, including Willie Douglas, who had helped her escape from Lochleven Castle, she spent her last afternoon of freedom as she crossed the Solway Firth. Not every decision turns out well. What if she'd chosen differently? If she'd gone to France, would she have been able to come back with French Catholic troops to Scotland? More civil strife, conflict, Mary in charge, Scotland Catholic? Oh, maybe we'd have had the world's biggest Mardi Gras. What would that be like? If she'd gone to France, would she have lived out her life in peace and tranquility and died in her bed? Would we still be talking about her now? Tell you what, in the comment section below, tell me what you think about Mary's decision and what alternative histories might have taken place. Who knows? But what I do know is that you can take a day trip and follow Mary's route from the Battle of Langside in what is now Glasgow down to Dundrennan Abbey, where Mary spent the last of her time in Scotland. Now, Dundrennan Abbey is down on the southwest coast in Galloway. It's a beautiful spot, peaceful setting for this ruined abbey. You can, let's say if you get there about mid-afternoon, you can enjoy the peace and tranquility that the Cistercian monks came there for in the first place. You can explore the little bee roads and villages before heading back north via Dumfries. I've included a Google map down below in the description, and you can get the, for the scenic bee roads and all that kind of thing. Obviously, Mary would have gone on horseback and you'll be making a road trip, but the route that will take you, it'll take you through the Glen Kens, little villages, and along the west coast of the River Ken, the west bank of the River Ken. You can stop off at Kenmure Castle. That was the one burned by the pursuing troops. You can cross the River Dee at Tongland, just like Mary did. Obviously, you won't have to camp out under the stars or drink sour milk. I'm not going to take you up to Terleys where Mary made the decision that we've just talked about. The castle isn't there anymore anyway. On the way down, as you pass through Galloway, you might want to stop at the birthplace of Robert Burns and see the monument there and that. Anyway, I've suggested stops for tea and cakes on the way down, and on the way back, you can stop for dinner in a lovely little Italian restaurant in Muffet called Claudios. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. Please like and share the video, give me the thumbs up, comment down below on what you think about Mary's choices, and get subscribed to my YouTube channel. I've left full details and web links in the description notes below. Please check the up-to-date details if you're deciding to go on this trip. Obviously, May 2020 is not a good time. And of course, if you're in doubt, why not hire a tour guide? How many dogs can be a lamb alive? Cheer and Rasta.